The Department of Justice is now investigating a possible scheme involving paying a bribe for a presidential pardon. So it's actually broken into two different cases, but they're both related. So now, right now, the investigation is heavily redacted. We don't know who is under investigation or who the pardon is for. Nonetheless, I think it's pretty interesting because here we have an investigation into people lobbying the president for a presidential pardon in exchange for cash. So now the federal court order signed by Chief Judge Beryl Howell in Washington, D.C., and dated on August 28th, shows a review of government requests to access certain communications believed to document a secret lobbying scheme and a related bribery for pardon scheme. So first they were going to lobby for the release of a specific individual, and then, of course, pay them. Oh, great. Wow. The filing says a government filter team was sorting through more than 50 digital devices, such as an iPhone or a laptop, as part of an investigation when they came across emails pointing to two alleged schemes, according to the Associated Press. The secret lobbying scheme, the document says, allegedly involves two individuals whose names are redacted as part of an investigation when they who lobbied senior White House officials to try to secure clemency for a third individual whose name happens to be blacked out. Again, all of this stuff is just, we don't know names, and it's driving me crazy because I want to know who it is. So, all right, anyway. Now, the related bribery conspiracy allegedly involved the offer of a substantial political contribution in exchange for a presidential pardon or reprieve of a sentence for an individual who, again, we don't know. So now it makes me wonder who exactly is in line for pardons right now. I mean, now is the time. Donald Trump's lame duck president. He doesn't have much longer in office. Much to his contrary to his protestations on Twitter, where I won the election. There's going to be a second Donald Trump term. There's not. There's not. There's no way that he's not going to be here past January 20th. I mean, whether or not they have to drag him out, and I'll watch that video. I will play that video for you all, and I will sit here with a bowl of popcorn, and I will watch them drag Trump out of the White House if that's what it takes to get him to leave past January 20th. So that said, I would kind of make a little fun party of it. I know that sounds horrible, but at this point, it's kind of what he deserves. If he doesn't want to leave, that said, we've seen talk of preemptive pardons. Now, yesterday, I did a story about Giuliani supposedly asking for a pardon, and I actually got something wrong. I want to correct that on the record, is that I wasn't aware of anybody giving themselves a preemptive pardon or being preemptively pardoned. Oop, turns out I was wrong. Richard Nixon. Not a good parallel. So then again, the people who are, possibly could get preemptive pardons would be his children. Donald Jr., Eric, and Ivanka. The interesting thing about them, along with Giuliani, is that they haven't been charged with any crimes. So also included would be Jared Kushner. And like I said, Giuliani. I couldn't imagine any one of them actually trying to or needing to bribe Donald Trump in order to get that pardon, though. So that doesn't track. That doesn't really track. But what we do know, apparently, from releases, again, it's according to the Associated Press, that the person appears to have a short last name and already is in the custody of the Bureau of Prisons. And so it's not any of them. It's not anybody that we can think of, that I can think of offhand. So I don't really know. This is very interesting. Now, a Justice Department official also spoke in the condition of anonymity and said that no government official was or is currently subject or target of the investigation disclosed in this filing. So that eliminates quite a few people, quite a few possibilities in the government of people that we know. Now, that said, Donald Trump responded to the news of this, and here's what he said. Fake news. Well, all right, that means it's definitely happening. Now, that doesn't mean also that Donald Trump is in trouble for any of this, but or is implicated as part of the scheme. As I mentioned before, the Department of Justice says that there's no government officials involved. So I am kind of curious. It does make you wonder why Donald Trump just had to say fake news about it if he didn't know. I don't know. Especially as I know there will be more pardons coming up because the president's starting to run out of time for his time in office. And so there will be more pardons. I am curious to see what happens in this investigation. You know, if they do find like any evidence or whatever, and are able to actually start disclosing names, because I am super, super, super curious of who this individual might be, who attempted to allegedly buy his way out of jail. I'm thinking maybe could have been. I was thinking maybe Rod Blagojevich, possibly. We had talked about that before. At least that's the name that comes to mind. But again, I don't really know. We'll have to see. Very interesting. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.